Good afternoon, members of the media. This afternoon, I'd like to briefly provide an update on our preparations for the 2021-2022 cyclone season. As you are all aware, we are now less than 2 months away from the new cyclone season, which starts in November. At this stage, the ministry is waiting with much anticipation for the 2021-2022 seasonal forecast, which is expected to be released by the Fiji Meteorological Office next month. This will enable us to better position ourselves in terms of advanced planning for the coordination of disaster management operations in all 4 divisions throughout Fiji. This year, as you all know, our ability to manage crisis will again be tested as the looming cyclone season falls directly in the path of our battle for the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Coupled with the devastations of tropical cyclones Harold, Yasa and Ana the past 16 months have not been easy for all of us. The last 2 months alone, TC Yasa and TC Yana impacted over 63,000 households, causing widespread damages amounting to more than 500 million Fiji dollars. This is why we want to reiterate that disaster preparedness is crucial. By preparing your homes, families, and loved ones, we will not only help save lives and properties, but also lessen the impacts on areas and communities still recovering from the recent cyclones and the economic downturn posed by COVID-19. I'll first speak on the Preparedness Committee meeting. As you may be aware, there are 3 committees that come under the National Disaster Council, namely the Preparedness Committee, the Prevention and Mitigation Committee, and the Emergency Committee. As part of our preparations for the upcoming cyclone season, the Permanent Secretary for Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management, and is also National Controller, Mr. David Kulitangane, convened the meeting of the Preparedness Committee on the 17th of September to discuss the ministry's and government's readiness status in the lead up to the new cyclone season. We also intend to convene a meeting of the Prevention and Mitigation Committee in the first week of October. Following this, the National Disaster Management Council will also meet ahead of the upcoming cyclone season to review and approve all preparedness plans. Operational readiness checks. The ministry has conducted our operational readiness check for all emergency operation centers, or EOCs, equipment and facilities in the 4 divisions. We currently have about 60% readiness status, and we will be working in the next month to bridge the identified gaps to ensure we are well prepared for the imminent cyclone season. The ORC also assesses the systems that are required for response operations, such as emergency or standby communications, water and power supply, a system for activating the EOCs and its resources, organizations, that is the DISMAC structure, and stockpiles of emergency equipment and supplies, and suitable storage and training required for civil servants, non-government organizations, and volunteers to assist the EOC in disaster response. We now have the preparedness status for all EOCs across the country and are now coordinating the level of preparedness across all sectors. We also have asked other key ministries to ensure that they complete their operational readiness check before the 27th of September, which is today. The ministry is also upgrading our communication network thanks to a 0.5 million support by the Japanese government. We are upgrading high-frequency radio equipment at identified locations across the divisions. The initial stages of this project involve the installation of 9 HF radios in Wonolevu. The HF radio has 5 features, including telephone, mobile, voice, emails, and SMS. These upgrades will greatly assist the NDMO in carrying out response plans and also allow the sharing of operational information with our emergency responders. Preposition of key assets and stores. The Ministry has started the prepositioning of key strategic assets to divisional warehouses. We have also been working with the Fiji Navy to conduct seaworthiness trials of all our sea capabilities. This includes the certification by MSEF and the recruitment of an in-house boat captain. As part of our preparatory works and in partnership with MFED, we have also completed a 90,000 renovation and improvements in the current warehousing and assets management processes. Evacuation centers, very important. We have over 1,000 evacuation centers that play a fundamental role in managing the impacts of natural disasters by offering emergency shelters from the worst impacts of disasters. The Ministry has a list of evacuation centers, which is normally updated by provincial administrators and district officers before the commencement of the cyclone season. At the moment, the 4 divisional commissioners are diligently working with their respective provincial administrators and district officers to conduct an assessment of all identified evacuation centers within their divisions. The Ministry is also working with the key government agencies to not only ensure that evacuation centers adhere to COVID-19 protocols, but they are also safe and secure for occupation. National Disaster Awareness Week, as mandated under the 1998 NDMO Act, the NDMO is currently preparing for the annual National Disaster Awareness Week. This is initially planned to be held in Lambasa, pending the ease of COVID-19 restrictions in place. Subsequently, plans are also in place for the National Disaster Awareness Week to be conducted virtually this year, and the NDMO is currently developing this virtual platform in coordination with the relevant national and international donor partners. Prior to this, the Ministry will soon launch the National Disaster Awareness Media Campaign, coinciding with the UNDRR International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction on October the 13th. This will mark the start of our concerted push to reinforce life-saving messages when disasters strike. And we will be reaching out to our friends in the media to reach as many of our people as possible. Not only will we be focusing awareness on disaster preparedness, we are also working with the Ministry of Health and Medical Services to jointly increase awareness on COVID-19 and the issue of LTDD. As I had alluded to earlier during the launch of our media campaign last year, there is no room for spin when you are reporting in a crisis. Disasters demand good information, and whatever crisis we may be responding to, objective reporting of the facts saves lives. Finally, my plea to community leaders. Community leaders also play a critical role in ensuring the safety of their community members. Their leadership and art of decision-making can make a huge impact in saving lives and properties during disasters. As we embark on another cycle of preparing our communities for the 2021-2022 cyclone season, I'd like to plead with all community leaders, whether you are a Turani Koro, a district advisory councillor, Maternity Kina, or leaders in your own small settlements or villages, please ensure that all your community members are prepared. Look out for the vulnerable members of your respective communities and ensure there is a disaster plan in place for your communities. Early preparedness saves lives. Thank you, and Vinagabaliw.